Good evening. Hope everybody is doing well. Just gonna wait a little bit for people to show up. I was running a little bit late. Um, I had to set a few things up that I thought were already set up, but were not. So it took a little bit of time. So we are running a little bit late, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll be done before 7. So if the people that are scheduled to go live, um, people will be able to go live. Um, so we'll just give a couple of minutes to let people come in who would like to come in. But um, in the mean, and then hopefully we'll talk a little bit about what this video is going to be about. I'm already seeing in the comments is if this is a unboxing. This is not an unboxing. This basically, if you look at the description of the live stream, it kind of I try to write down basically what is going to be discussed in the video. Um, so this is not an unboxing. There's no planned shipment that came in, but we are going to be talking about um, ordering in the plants. So stay tuned for that, and then also talking about some updates to the website. And then if you guys have any questions regarding any products or anything related to the store, um, you'll be able to ask those questions here if you need if you have any questions. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, it's not an unboxing, unfortunately. But hello there, Zen. Thank you very much for stopping by. Appreciate it. Hello there, Coro. Thank you very much for coming. Yeah, this live stream was scheduled off out of the blue. I decided to schedule a live stream just to talk about a few things and um, address a suggestion to you guys who are waiting on plans to come in, um, to hear your thoughts of something that I was planning on doing for that section in particular. So would love to hear your thoughts on that as well. And yes, Cora, I'm aware of the upgrades that Tropica is doing with their potted plants. They're transitioning from pots to those reusable clips. Um, you know, I don't know if they've actually implemented it in or not. I think they're slowly going to phase out the pots. I think for certain plants, they're still going to use the pots, and for others, they're going to still use the clips just to see how it does. Um, so I don't know if when I do place another order with Tropica, if I'm going to get those clips in or not. Because it's going to be a little because I have to then see um, if 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 we're going to be getting in racks that can accommodate those clips, because right now the racks that I have in the tanks are for pots. They're not designed for those clips. The racks that they have for the clips are different, and I don't know if they're going to be sending them out with the plants or we have to purchase them separately. So we'll find out. um, Sorry, I'm just trying to see if notifications went out or not. I know some people are also working during this time, which is okay. But if not, then we'll continue working. Okay, so I'm gonna go through some of the things that I wanted to talk about and discuss, and then afterwards, if there are any questions or anything, we'll address that. So the first thing that I wanted to address is let me share my screen as well. I have the website pulled up just so if I need to show you something, we can show that. I can show that as well. So a few things. Actually, before I even address the plants thing, let me just address this one thing. So, if you haven't been getting emails, like if you aren't subscribed or a member of Atlantic Aquariums, you probably haven't been getting emails. The only people that get emails from me are those that are either site members or who have subscribed to the newsletter or things like that. If you just bought something from the site or whatever and aren't really a member or subscribed or anything, um, technically I can send you emails, but I don't because I know as a consumer myself, sometimes it gets a little annoying and this and that, yada yada. So I only send emails out to those that want to receive emails. So not everybody will get the memo of certain things that are happening, things like that, and so I do try to also post things on Facebook or Instagram. Sometimes I forget. It's this business is a one man show. But so basically, one of the key things you may have noticed. I don't know if you can see my mouse or anything. Also, please let me know if you can hear me. Um, but basically, there used to be a little icon on the bottom, well, my left hand over here for the rewards program, right? So that program is no longer available for the website builder that I use for this website, if that makes sense. So it's no longer going to be available. It's still technically active, but it's going to go away soon. So what has happened is now there is a different rewards program that's actually integrated into the website, and there are a few difference or a few changes to that program. So to get to that program, you're going to go to the more section, and you're going to see here it says Aquarist Rewards Program. So if I click that, it's going to bring to the rewards program page, and it's basically going to give you a little bit of information, the steps to start earning your rewards. So the first step is basically to become a member. So in order to earn points, you have to actually sign up, create an account on the website, things like that. And then you'll be able to then start viewing your reward points and earning them as well. Meaning when you are purchasing something from the site, you need to log in first. And so step one, you sign up and then you earn points. And there are different ways to earn points. And if you kind of look at the way to earn, it's very different than the previous program. So in this case, basically, if you purchase a product, so for every dollar that you spend, you get one Aquarius point. And the way that they calculate that is they round it down to the nearest dollar, if that makes sense, instead of rounding up. Um, so you get one Aquarius point for every dollar you spend. Um, when you actually sign up to the website, you'll get 50 points right off the bat. So even before you buy anything or do anything else, if you aren't a member already, you click that button, you sign up, you're already getting 50 points right there. If you write a product review. So I've been kind of throughout my time on YouTube and things like that, I've been encouraging people that have bought stuff from Atlantic Aquariums to also leave a review. Here's an incentive for you to write a review, an honest review, by the way. And you'll get 5 Aquarius points for every review you make. And then if you celebrate a birthday with us, you'll get 20 Aquarius points that way. Now, it's different from the old program where also if you were to like us on Facebook, if you were to follow us on Instagram, things like that, basically like social media stuff, you would also get points for that. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to give points for doing that in this program. I'm hoping that they give something like that for this. Um, but as of right now, these are the only ways you can earn points. And I lost my train of thought. Don't you just love when that happens? Oh, yes. So if you've for those of you who have been buying stuff from Atlantic Aquariums and have participated in the rewards points, your points have been transferred over to this program, if that makes sense. So when you do log in, um, if you're already a member, that's totally fine. You just log in and you'll start viewing your points as of right now. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of you, or a few of you at least, have more than 100 Aquarius points. So, but they've never been redeemed. So you might want to, start taking advantage of that. And so this is how you'll be able to earn points. And then the rewards you get is basically for every 100 Aquarius points, you get $10 off. You get a $10 discount off of your order. Um, but yeah, so that was a major thing that I wanted to talk about. Let me just go over to chat, see if there's any questions in particular related to this. Okay, so nothing yet related to the rewards program. Perfect. So, so that's our rewards program. Now, you'd think I'd write the points that I wanted to discuss down, but nope. I'm just coming home from my other job, and I was running late, so I literally just changed clothes, got a little tidy up, set up the computer and everything, and here we are. So do forgive me for not being organized. So if we go to the plants and macroalgae setups, so macroalgae, so a lot of people have been, you know, asking me, when are you getting more plants in? When are you getting more plants in? Yada yada. And I have been trying very hard to save up to get plants in. It's being very hard to do so. Um, but I did come up with a thought that I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on. So I've been, for the past couple of months, I have been encouraging people to, if there are any plants that you're interested in that is out of stock, to hit the notify when back in stock request. So, like for example, if we go to Mordinia Kasek, so if I click that, excuse me. When you hit the notify when available button, it'll ask you to put in your email address, and you do that, and it sends me a notification that somebody's interested in this plant, and that gives me an idea of what plants to order in, if that makes sense. So what I am proposing is that for the plants that have been requested back in stock, I'm going to be hopefully by the end of this week, because I'm going to be that's usually when I get the I'm sorry, hopefully by the end of Thursday or Friday, because that's when I get the new stock list from Tropica specifically. Um, Depending on the availability from Tropica, I am going to open up those particular plants that were requested back in stock. I'm going to open them up as pre-order. So instead of the notify when available, it's going to be a button that says pre-order now or something along the lines of that. Now, basically, you're going to pre-order, you're going to pay for the plants before they even get here. And the reason for that is then I know that you definitely want to buy these plants, and I will be able to get enough funding. I'm still gonna have to put in some of my own funds into getting the plant shipment in, because it depends on how much quantity of each species you want. And so I'm going to then, through after that, hopefully by the end of this week then. So like the plants are gonna go live as pre-order by the end of Friday, for example, and then you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, roughly. Hopefully by the end of Sunday, I'm gonna see if there were any orders placed, and then I'm gonna send out the order to get the shipment order to get the plants in. And then once I get those plants in, the plants will be shipped out. So it's going to be a tight deadline because I want to make sure that when I do submit the order to Tropica, that the plants that you have purchased will still be available for me to get in, if that makes sense. This is the first time I'm doing something like this. Don't know how it's going to work, but it's the only way that I can think of as of right now to get some of these plants in, so that way, I don't have literally 90% of this section of the store out of stock. So I wanted you guys' thoughts on that, what you think. Because the problem is that the last time I did a order in for plants that were requested back in stock, nobody bought anything. Very few, maybe one or two people bought the plants that I got in, and the rest really did not sell at all. And I lost money because of that. And I wish I could confidently buy a lot of plants in um and not have to figure out ways to get plants in and sold and things like that. But things just have not been going well, and with other financial responsibilities that I have, because to run this business, I'm paying out of pocket. I don't have any loans. I don't have any other partners or anything for this business. And, you know, it is a struggle, unfortunately. So, but I want to get plants in, good quality plants in for you guys to enjoy just as much as I enjoy them. And so this is one way to do that. So I was very curious to know what you guys think, if it is something you would be interested in. um very curious. So in the meantime, let me address some questions here. So Coro is asking, what are the plans moving forward? Where are you planning on investing energy and time into the business? I know it can be difficult to keep like perishables, live goods in stock, etc., and inventory. Um, has to move in order to maintain its value. It's a fine balance to walk, etc. So I'm curious your thoughts on process. Yeah. So Coro, there's definitely serious discussions going on with people I'm very close to in the aquarium community who have been helping me or have been supporting me through this journey. Discussion with family members, and just me discussing with myself, seriously, in terms of the direction and basically the survivability of the business. This business has been running since 2020, the end of 2020. So it's been a few years, right? It's still a young business, but it's been running for a few years, and unfortunately, I haven't really been seeing a lot of growth with it. Um, and there are a lot of factors. Some of the factors I've discussed already, and so, but it's like, I need to figure out. I'm basically finding ways to keep Atlantic Aquariums alive, but also looking at parts of the business that just is not helping the business, or is just not financially, I can't financially support anymore. So like, for example, the website itself, it costs a lot of money for me to maintain this online store, like the website itself. And so I have to look in terms of, well, the yearly plan that I currently have for this website to run. Um, can I still afford it? Do I have to downgrade the subscription to something that is a little more affordable? And if I do that, am I going to lose some perks because of that, or some features because of that? If that makes sense. If any of you design websites or know how to build websites, things like that, you might know what I'm talking about. Or do I have to shut down the website completely and just come to like in-person events, trade shows, things like that? Basically, events where I can vend at, and just come in person and use social media like Instagram and Facebook to let people know where I'm going to be next, and then you just having to buy in person. Things like that is definitely being discussed right now. Um, and a lot of these changes are probably going to happen by before the end of this year even. And so um so yeah, so there's a lot of discussion going on. There's going to be a lot of inventory changes as well in terms of um what I'm selling on the store, things like that. um I want to be a a destination where people can find things that they really really need, whether it be for freshwater, saltwater ponds, terrariums, vivariums, um, things like that. But you there's a lot to think about for sure. So Zen says it may seem counterintuitive, but lots of people do giveaways and hope folks will make additional purchases. If you give them an online code to use at the store, would that be possible for you? So Zen, I have given so many coupons and discount codes and incentives as giveaways for events, for clubs, and things like that, and rarely have any of them been used. And I'm even talking about time points of during the years the business has been running where inventory was good. I had a lot of things in stock, and still people weren't really using the discount codes, because I can actually see how many people have been using the codes, things like that. And as much as I would love to really uh, support events and clubs and things like that, and do giveaways, and sponsor raffles and things like that. um at the beginning it wasn't that much of an issue. Now unfortunately it is an issue, where it's just not benefiting the business whatsoever. So you know it's one thing if Atlantic Aquariums was very successful, and I have absolutely no issues with doing a giveaway every time we do a live stream. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, but as of right now, it's just very difficult. I have to look at the financial survivability of this business. And right now, there's not a lot of survivability going on. And that doesn't mean I'm still not gonna do any giveaways, or I'm still not gonna support events by sponsoring or anything like that. It's just that I have to be very picky and very reserved as to what I am giving away, things like that. Have you done them on the interwebs or just in-person events? I know you did Fish Fam Link recently, but I think those codes get lost when it's a physical thing. I mean, yeah, I mean, um, hang on, I'm trying to formulate an answer for that for that. So for certain giveaways that I've done with, like the discount codes, it has been physical. Like you get a little slip or something like that. Um, on the Professor Fish Tank's channel, when I did the live stream with during that like little quiz game thingy where people won discount codes, I personally sent they had to reach out to me, and I would personally send them the discount code, and a lot of the people who won that competition or that quiz or whatever did reach out. There was still maybe like one or two who still have not reached out to claim their prize. Um, I've even sent out, but it hasn't always just been like discount codes and things like that. It's been actual physical goods, like dry goods or things like that, that I've also donated, things like that. Um, yeah, I've done where I participated in things that I could, especially during the beginning of Atlantic Aquariums. But unfortunately now it's like um I have to really look at what events or what organizations or things like that that I'm going to be sponsoring, and then I have to look at the value of that sponsorship or the donation or what the case might be, and to actually see if if it's worth it. Like for example, there might be an event coming up soon, right? And this is hypothetical, by the way. And I give them a donation of a discount code or whatever the case might be, right? Another problem is like, okay, I won this discount code. I visit Atlantic Aquariums, and there's not a lot of, especially like if you're an aquascaper or somebody who likes aquatic plants. Let's use that for example, because you know there's not a lot in stock. How I'm not really gonna use my discount code if there's not a lot of things in stock. And so it's that battle right now where, um, in order for me to get stuff in, I have to sell what I currently have, and what I currently have is not selling. And when it comes to like especially perishable goods like foods and plants, I can only keep them in stock for so long until a certain plant just decides to kaput on me, or a food item, a fish food item goes expired, right? So that's lost inventory there. And so it's that battle, and it's like, when I was talking with a few people, it's the turnover. There's not a lot of turnover going on with this business. So and it is affecting it negatively, and um and I am starting to be very active, going to club meetings and things like that, and really trying to promote the business as much as I can. But I'm not going to drive 4 or 5 hours to a particular event, right, as at least right now, just to promote the business, because I don't have the time. I work at other jobs. I have family things I have to do. I volunteer in other places as well, and it's just not viable to you know to to make the effort to drive to events that are too far away, and tell them that, hey, make sure you should check out, I own a business called Atlantic Aquariums, check out. And you come to the website, and obviously if there's nothing on there that you are looking to get, you're not going to buy anything on there. So at least right now, it's not really helping, from what I'm seeing. At least I might be wrong, you know but I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing any positive effects from the efforts, but I am working on it. I am trying to push myself to go out there. Um, it's just very difficult because, like, I do have social anxiety, from, believe it or not. And you know there are times where, like even the club that I joined here in New Jersey, right? I go there as often as I can every month, and I sit there, and I just sit there and watch and things like that. Everybody else knows each other, and I'm just sitting there waiting for the talk to go on. Sometimes I'll ask questions and things like that. And then towards the end, they do the auction. They don't accept card or anything, and I don't carry cash on me, so I end up leaving. And that's pretty much it. The only time I really got to promote Atlantic Aquariums at that event or at that club was during their first ever swap meet, which was really nice, and I hope they do that more frequently, because it was beneficial to an extent. But you know, it's just that trying to figure out ways to get this business running, and I will continue to fight my way through it to keep Atlantic Aquariums alive. But there's definitely a lot of there's definitely going to be a lot of business changes going on um, towards the end of this year for sure. Um, do you have any suppliers for macroalgae? Is there possibilities of partnerships where the aquaculture people ship it out, but you handle the sale? So like drop shipping. Unfortunately, no, not with the live goods at least. In terms of macroalgae, um, there are potential suppliers for it. Unfortunately, I do not have the setup to house it to then ship it off after that. So I'm not going to be able to get macroalgae anytime soon, unfortunately. But I am more than happy to forward you to places that I trust that you can get macroalgae from. I have no issues forwarding you to other places that carry stuff that I currently do not carry. Um, um, but yeah, um, believe it or not, a lot of the drop shipping things, you'll find a lot with dry goods more than you would with live goods. Yeah, yeah, it is what it is. But but yeah, so as I was saying, with the plants, uh what I'm probably going to end up doing is the plants that were requested back in stock, I'm going to put up as pre-order, and then once those orders come in, if any come in at all, I will then be able to place that order from Tropica or wherever to get those plants in. And once I do get them in, I will then ship them out to the people that want it. But it's only going to be the plants that are back in stock. So if there's a plant that you really want me to get in, you're going to have to hit that notify when available button, and then it will be up as a pre-order. And hopefully, if that plant is available from my wholesaler, um, I will be able to get it in. Um, trying to think if there what else there was for me to talk about. I can see there's only two people. That's fine. Hopefully, people will watch the replay and comment in the comment section below of what their thoughts are on my plan. And I should specify the back in stock, the pre-order thing is only going to be for Tropica plants. So if you were to go to the plant page and select the Tropica filter, that will only show you plants that are offered that I offered that are from Tropica. So all these plants you see listed here are all from Tropica. So you'll basically just, whichever plant you're interested in, just order that in. Um, and another thing that you can also do, because it doesn't allow you to specify, or it might do, I'm not too sure, but I'll have to look into it. But if you can't specify when you do pre-order or request back in stock to to just email me that, hey, I placed a back in stock request for this particular plant, and I was interested in getting this quantity of them. Like I wanted to get 4 plants of this Anubias, or 3 pots or 3 cups of this tissue culture plant, things like that, because that'll give me an idea of how much to order in, if that makes sense. Otherwise, I just do the minimum of each species. Um, and I think I just answered Zen's question. So yeah, so for Tropica, the minimum plant requirement for pots is 5 of each species. For the tissue culture, it's 3. So let's say you were only interested in 1 pot of the Ludwigia Plustres Super Red, right? You just want 1 plant, and you hit the notify when back in stock. You pre-order for just 1 plant. I'll get it in, but I then will have 4 of those pots still remaining or still in stock. And then after that, it's basically me just hoping that, okay, I've got a lot of these plants in stock now. Hopefully somebody else will buy up the remaining 4, if that makes sense. So it's in a way, it's like you're pre-ordering these plants, even if it's just 1 plant, right? But it will hopefully give me some form of financial support to then basically get a lot of these plants in stock again. So even if you're not buying all 5 of the pots of the Plustres Super Red, um, that's okay. Hopefully, when people see, because obviously when I get these plants in, I'm going to do a live unboxing, right? And who doesn't like a live unboxing? And then hopefully more people will, end up buying the plants when they do come in stock, and you don't have to pre-order them anymore, if that makes sense. And then yeah, so for pots it's 5 minimum. For the tissue culture it's 3. But you don't have to, like, if you're gonna do a pre-order, you don't have to commit to 5 or to 3. You can just do 1 or whatever the case might be. And you can mix and match. You don't have to get the same one. If you want to get, it's like you said, Zen, if you want to get 1 of the Rotala indica bonsai and you want to get 3 of the Pogostemen decensis, you can do that. No, Zen, you don't have to wait for the people to purchase it. And if you placed a pre-order for, again, the example that I just said, you will get those plants in. You don't have to wait for all, like, 3 of the tissue culture to sell out or to be ordered in, or 5 of this to be ordered in. It's just you're helping me in order to get these plants in by pre-ordering the plants in, if that makes sense. Sorry if I made it a little confusing. So So what they have for the Tropic app isn't necessarily like a calculator, but if, let's say, you were interested, or let's say if you were following one of their aquascape recipes, is what I like to call them, or like not following it to a T, but using it as reference or as inspiration, those recipes give you an idea of how many of each plant they used in that aquascape, if that makes sense. So it can kind of give you an idea, and they also tell you for, like, all those aquascapes, like what size tanks they were in, and so it can kind of give you an idea of how many plants you would need. But again, like, if you were to get the tissue cultures, you're getting like 4 pots worth of plants in that one tissue culture, depending on the species, of course. So you know you can use that to save a little bit of money. It's just that your tank's not going to really look that full until those plants grow in. um so you don't have to get a lot of plants to really fill up your tank. It would be nice to do that, but some people have the money, some people don't have the money. So, but with the Tropica, it's one of those things. It's that I like is that, especially with the tissue cultures, you are saving a little bit of money by getting tissue cultures, because you're getting more for the value, if that makes sense. Sorry, I was just checking something real quick. But yeah. So what's the time? It's 58. All right. So yeah, that's kind of like the major things I wanted to talk about. If anybody else has any questions about anything product wise, or I'm happy to address them. Um, Another main change that's probably going to be happening in the next couple of months is the food inventory. So there's definitely going to be a decrease in the type of food, or the amount of foods that are being offered on the site is definitely going to be reducing. Not a great seller for Atlantic Aquariums right now, so not really going to bother with it. Um, Unfortunately, I've had to toss out a lot of Sarah, a lot of Rapashi. Um, and so hopefully in the future, I'll be able to get the stuff back in, because I use this stuff myself and I will always use the stuff there. It's a great food, great varied diets for a lot of aquatic and semi-aquatic animals. But in a business standpoint, just isn't doing well for me. So gonna hold off on that stuff for now. I'm confused with that comment, Coral. What am I apologizing for? Oh, okay. No, you're good. I was just confused as to as to what it was. Um, but yeah. All right. So if there's no other questions or anything, I do appreciate those of you that did come to the live. I really appreciate it. Hope any questions you did have were answered. Um, Hope you're excited about some of the new updates to the website. Um, Things like that. And for anybody that's watching the replay, thank you very much for doing so. I apologize if you missed the live stream. Please make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed the live stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. Um, and I will hopefully see you guys around. Also, just another announcement. Um, on the Professor Fish Tank's channel, there is going to be a live stream this week. Unfortunately, it's not going to be on Sunday as it usually is, because Sunday is a holiday for me. So it's going to be pushed back to Saturday evening. So just keep an eye out for that. And and yeah, with that being said, thank you very much. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Make sure you maintain your tanks properly, and I will see you around. Bye bye.